39th this year, right now. Chase, let's see you back there. Come on out, Chase Turner, 38.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for coming out tonight. Another unbelievable turnout for the Lakes Area Tea Party. Thank you, Mary. I didn't have any prepared remarks coming in here, but seeing kind of some of our presenters speak tonight. First, thank you, Dr. Fawaz. He said something up here that he wasn't a politician, didn't want to talk like one. Apparently, I'm a politician right now, but I'd rather talk like a doctor. And I have been, speaking truth. And we, I think, owe him another round of applause for coming out. When you're in professions like that and you get around groupthink and people that are afraid, and sometimes we've seen it, and we're seeing it now again 4 years later, and we saw it with President Trump, where the media, relentless negative attacks, the media saying that you're a racist if you support this man, that you are xenophobic, that you hate your neighbor, that you're a deplorable. And then you get somebody who dismisses it, and they put a Trump sign out on their yard. And then you see that it's your neighbor, and you're like, oh, okay, you know what? It's okay, I'm gonna do it too. I'm gonna do it too. That's what it takes. It takes one person to stand up. And we saw it in 2016, we were talking about the silent majority. I see it now around here, more Trump signs than ever. And the only reason people are still afraid to put them out is not because of the support, it's because they're gonna get stolen. And that's what happens all the time. But it does. We need to take that example and speak out. I did it in 2016. I was sick of seeing my Facebook feed just being, oh, Clinton this, Trump is terrible, blah, blah, blah. And you know what? I'm like, I'm sick of it. They need to know there's another opinion out there. Maybe my words aren't going to change their opinion, but they need to know that what they're saying isn't right. So I'd go on Facebook and I was like, all right, I have some time. I'd go on there and start hitting back. And then all of a sudden I would get a private message from somebody I've never met. And they said, hey, I'm so-and-so's uncle. Thank you for saying that. Because if I did, we could never have a family event again. I would be disowned. I'd get another private message from friends from high school. Hey, what you said, you're right. Clinton is garbage. I'm going for your guy. You know, I would get these, and then I'd be doing doors and helping candidates, and then I'd get the silent, hey, Trump, the thumbs up. I'm seeing that now, but I'm also seeing it, and especially in this area, the hatred for Trump. I'm seeing people that claim that they're Republicans and that they're just sick of the divisiveness, they're sick of him in the White House, and they can't bring themselves to vote for him. And we need to get that message out and counterbalance that, because it's not the president, it's the media. It's the media that is fueling the fire. It's the media that likes the controversy, is creating the controversy for that. And that's what it takes, is each one of us, our candidates, myself included, Chase Turner, who's here today from the 38th, we're facing relentless negative attacks from the Democrats. I agree with Dr. Fawaz. The majority of them are just misguided. I think everybody can agree, hey, we all want good paying jobs, we want to be healthy, we want clean drinking water. You look at some of the Democratic principles, hey, I can agree with that, that, going down the line. It's about how we get there. The devil's in the details. A lot of them are misguided, but then you have the extremists, you have the ones putting out deliberately false information, negative attacks, doing things for their own agenda. Those can cross the line. Then it gets to evilness. But people, don't let this election turn against your neighbor, turn against your people. I see it. a Biden sign, a Trump sign. You have a little Biden sign, you want to get a bigger Trump sign. Then they get 2 Biden signs, then you get a big Trump sign. I think that's, that's good. But don't let it dominate you. Don't let it turn you against your neighbor. Don't let it turn you thinking that they're evil just because they're supporting a different candidate. But going back to the media and what we can do is have a civil conversation. Don't be afraid to say, hey, yes, I am a Trump supporter, and I'll tell you why, and spit facts. Don't use their fear-based, and emotion. Use the facts on your side. Talking about poll training, and I just want to say about that, I've been a poll challenger and an election day lawyer for the Republican Party for the last decade, and it does matter. I always get sent to Detroit for some reason. Maybe there's more problems there than here in Oakland County, just a little bit. But it does, that we've had to, and unless there's somebody on the ground, and I've had to go and fill out an affidavit and start litigation when, or at least threatened to, when they wanted to keep the polls open, saying that people were being disenfranchised and not having their turns. And I was literally at that poll and there was no lines. And they were trying to do it for whatever purpose. But it does matter. And it does matter to have boots on the ground, to have that army. And it doesn't take an army of 1,000. It actually doesn't even take an army of 300. It can start with the army of 1. But we can't all do it together. We need everybody in this room, and whether you can do it, if you know somebody else that can, and I know some of the poll challenging, depending on what role you're in, that you have to be there all day. But some, you don't have to be there all day. You can take a shift. And if you can't do it, and you can't do it in Detroit, there's plenty of areas around here. And if you don't want to do it on the official clerk side, you can help out a campaign such as mine, Chase Turner's, anybody else, of even just being out there on election day, handing out materials, saying, hey, vote for Ryan. That's all it takes. You convince a couple people. Let's say you can only convince one person an hour. If I have my volunteers there 13 hours while the polls are open, that's 13 extra votes I got at one location. Multiply that by the 25 different locations, there's another 300 votes, especially when it's a close election. Every vote counts. But we're here. Thank you for being here. If you have any questions, concerns, issues, I'll be in the back to talk to you guys. I appreciate your support. I appreciate you being here. And let's hear from Chase Turner.